everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I am back with the hashtag 50 Stack Challenge 6. This is the 6th one of these challenges, and it's a 25-week prompt assignment challenge. So each week I pick 2 prompts out of my little bag that has all the prompts in it already from the beginning. And then the idea is to make 1 piece of ephemera for each of the prompts. You can choose, however, to make whatever you like on whatever base that you would like. So if you're more into doing collage or painting or whatever, you can do that instead. I even have one lovely lady who is doing a what do you call that, Procreate class, which is digital art, and she's doing her prompts on Procreate. So however you want to do it, go for it. All right, and everybody's welcome. You can jump in at any time. You can skip weeks, whatever. Doesn't matter to me, because it's your ephemera that you're trying to build up, or your artwork that you're trying to build up. So however you want to do it. So for example, last week, number 19, the prompt was yarn. So I stitched just some pieces of yarn on my little tag here, and this will be a Christmas tag, obviously, to go in a pocket or something at Christmas time. And then number 20 was magazine page, and you could interpret these however you like. I used magazine page here to decorate this paper bag, and this is also, this lady is from it's from National Geographic magazine. And then I also, you guys didn't see this part, but I went ahead and made a large tag just using the same magazine page and putting one of my little Dance on the Flowers. This is from my Faye kit, and some book page, and that's it. So I'll eventually put like probably a piece of fabric or whatever there. But anyway, so that was my interpretation for magazine page. And again, like I said, you can do it however you would like. And you could have even used, oh, that all of a sudden seems very tight in there. Like magazine page just as background, or, you know, however you would like as well. So anyhow, that was last week. So we're on 21 and 22. So 21 will be fabric, and I need a pen. Number 21 is fabric, and you can use just one little piece of fabric as a decorative thing, like, you know, on this I used fabric underneath the yarn, so however. And then 22 is a doily. So however you want to use a doily. I have seen people make like a whole pocket out of a doily, or you can just use a piece of doily. So however you want to do it. All right, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So the first one we're going to do is number 21, fabric. And I've got some old vintagey pieces of fabric. I have a crazy quilt that never got finished that a friend gave me with vintage fabric on it. So I just use it for this kind of stuff because it's just pieces and stuff stitched together. So anyway, I also have this old like file card, and I'm just gonna, I cut a little bit off so that it could be a pocket in the journal. So I think I cut it at 5 1/4 just to make sure it'll fit in a journal as a pocket. I prefer the rounded corners on these. And I'm going to use this out of a home ec old, it was like a workbook. So I think I'm just gonna, I don't really need all of this up here. I do like this part at the top. I don't need the unit 3 up there is what I'm saying. So how is everybody? I hope you guys are well. I'm doing good. Just for me it's Thursday. For you guys it's Monday. And you're starting a new week, so I hope your week goes fabulous. Yeah, I thought this would be a good background on that. And then you could use it in a sewing journal. I mean, you could use it in any journal, but it would definitely work in a sewing journal. Not that I have done one of those in ages, but you just never know when you might want it. So there it is. And I have had this forever. They didn't have home ec when I was in high school, and I really wish they would have, because I feel like it would be very advantageous, and I think it would be advantageous for any kids that would want to take it, not just girls. I know it was mostly girls, obviously. Well, was girls that took it, but because the boys did shop or whatever. But I never like learned to sew or any of those kind of things, so I just think it would have been great. I feel like you use that a whole lot more than I use algebra, for example. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. There is a time and a place and a need for algebra, but as far as everyday life and stuff, I just feel like a lot of that would be very beneficial for a lot of people. I know it would have been for me. And things like cooking, you know, and all those kind of things. I mean, my kids, well, especially my son, loved in 4-H. He took baking and cooking, and he really liked doing all that. And my daughter took sewing in 4-H. But there are places, like where I grew up, for example, where they didn't have 4-H. And so I really wish the schools would have offered that, because like sewing and cooking for everybody isn't a bad thing to learn. Definitely cooking, since we all do that, right? We all eat, so. And basic, like, using credit cards and balancing checkbooks and all of those kind of things, because my sister works in for a credit card company. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, there's like a lot of people that don't totally get how credit cards work. And so I just think, gosh, wouldn't it be great if people learned more of that in school? And everybody, it seems sometimes like, of course that's how it works, but obviously not everybody knows, so. I think we've done a huge disservice by taking those things out of school. Just my opinion. Okay, when I'm gluing these down, they'll get stitched a little bit because I am going to run around it with the sewing machine, but as I've said loads of times, my permanent Scotch Create glue stick works fantastic for fabrics. So, but it's all up to you how you would want to make them stay. You could use Fabri-Tac or whatever. Whatever. I didn't, yeah, I think that'll be hopefully the right amount of distance. Stretched those out weird. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Then I thought it would be fun to use one of these Tim Holtz this Tim Holtz lady. She looks like she could be the home ec teacher or something. I don't know. I didn't have a home ec teacher, so I don't know, but she just kind of makes me laugh. So that's what we're going to use. Oh, I need to say hugs and blessings. Hugs and blessings to Beth Ann, Mitzi, Sheila, and Diana. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for always leaving kind comments. I really appreciate all of you. Welcome to new subscribers. I've got a few new. And welcome back to those of you who've been with me a short time or a long time. I appreciate all of you. And I really would love it if you'd click that like button if you like my videos. It really does help the channel get out there in the algorithm, and I really kind of need that right now. Okay, so we'll do that. And I know a lot of you do watch on TV, so I may not be able to do all those things, but if you can, I would appreciate it. And I think I might do one more fabric just because that was super fast. There she is watching her students. I think what I'll do is probably stitch around her and just around the card itself. So there we have fabric. Just a fun little something there. And I am, like I said, going to do another one. Here's an alteration card, or tag, I think is what this is. Yes. I was just going to do this, but it was like so quick because I kind of want to leave a lot of the, you know, alteration type stuff visible. So put that one in the middle. But it's the exact same idea, just different bits and pieces here is all. I'll put that one in the middle so we can see the number. I kind of like the number there. And then we have another Tim Holtz lady we're going to put over here. Do I want to come over to this side so you can see? Yeah, that would make more sense, huh? Then you could see more of that stuff. Yes, that's what I will do. So this could go in the pocket, that pocket we just made, or it could go somewhere else. This is a great use of scraps too, because fabric scraps, that is, because obviously you don't need giant pieces. You just need a little bit, and these ones aren't even same size. Close, but you could put buttons on them. That would be cute. I'm going to do some crazy stitching on them. And if you don't like the people on them, just, you know, you could use something else or nothing. It looks cute too with just the fabric on there. So, or you could put a saying or whatever. I love all these old photographs. And by putting a little glue across where it's perforated, well, I mean, this is already on there, but that helps to hold it together in case you're putting it in and out of a pocket and it starts to bend at the perforation. Hopefully you're not going to lose half your tag. I'm just going to take a strip of this fabric and put it through the hole up there. So there lace on here? Oh no, it's just gathered. I do have a little sunshine today. It's still quite cold. Hubby and I ran to Lowe's to look for some things, and we found dirt. We needed some more dirt for our garden. And we were out in the garden center, which I love when it's nice, but when it's freezing cold, I'm like, oh, just get the dirt and let's go. I love the garden center though. It's like one of my favorite things to go do. Wander around the garden center. But they had a deal where you buy 3 bags of dirt and you get 3 free. It was like, yes, please. I will take that. All right, so that is my fabric. Fabric, super easy. Doesn't get any easier than that. Doily. So we're gonna do a guess check, which is what started the whole 50 stack challenge. I did a whole stack of guess checks because there's 50 in a stack. So, but then I didn't know that they were hard for people to get. So that's when I changed it to, you know, use whatever base you want. Whatever works for you, whatever you can find. You can just use a piece of paper. This one has been coffee dyed, as I'm sure you can see. So we're just going to glue that right on there. It's going to be our background. We're looking at paint too to paint the outside of the house, which that's going to be a project and a half. It's all going to depend on my hands too, what the doctor says about if I have to have surgery or not. Yeah. We shall see. I would like to not, but I'm not sure what else we can do since we've tried just about everything. The biggest problem is I'm losing like squeeze and lifting, carrying things. I don't have any like grip at all. So I spill things and drop things, and I can't even squeeze the Dawn bottle. You have to use 2 hands. I'm telling you. Fun stuff. All right, I am going to use this finally. It's been kicking around my desk. You guys keep seeing me drag it out of my that box, and isn't right on anything. Well, I finally found something for it to go on because I do love it. I don't know where I got this. I think it might have been one of those ephemera pack things I got from Amazon that they call scrapbook paper. You know, they're little tiny sheets of paper, but they come with all kinds of stuff. And I think this was one of the pieces in there, and I love it because she's reading a book. It reminds me of my daughter because she loves to read. And then I just stitched together some tulle, a piece of lace, another piece of lace, another piece of lace, but they're kind of in a sort of an arc. And you're probably saying, I thought you couldn't sew. Well, I can straight stitch on the sewing machine, but that's about it. I can't like sew a pattern or something like that. And then I also have this pin that this was given to me by Lorette. Thank you, Lorette. And a couple little beads and a rusty bulb pin. This has the rose on both sides. I'm just going to pin it onto this before I glue it down. And I stitched these ahead of time so I wouldn't have to be stopping and starting the video, hopefully. I might kind of go over under sort of thing with that. How do I want to do this? It's always tricky. We'll just put glue kind of down where most of the stitching is. Maybe we'll do that if we can get our glue to work. There's always glue stuck somewhere, y'all. I'm telling you. And I just cleaned out the little one, and I forgot to do this one, of course. I don't always use it, so I forget. Come out now. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm going to kind of take it to the edge here so that hopefully that will work. I'm going to tuck her in there, something like that. And I think I'm going to use this because it's probably going to go over a little bit of lace and everything. So I want to make sure it's got some good grab happening. I know I kind of covered up her book a little bit. I'll try to scooch her up a little bit. I want her to be tucked in that lace, but I think I'll put a little on here. That way I can control that lace a little more. Actually gonna snip that little piece off. If I can pick up my scissors, that is. There we go. Now we can see her reading her book. And this. I have pictures of my daughter even before she could read, when she was like, I don't know, 2, sitting on her bed looking at books. She's always loved it. Always, always. My son used to love to read, but he's kind of gotten to where he's not so interested. He might come back to it eventually. Then this I'm going to kind of form around that. So I'm just going to glue it here. And oopsie. This is seam binding that has been coffee dyed. So it gets kind of all crinkled up. And I bought it somewhere on Etsy. I don't remember where because it's been years. But if you go look for seam binding, there's loads of places that sell it. or you can get some if you want some. And just that last little bit, I think, hopefully will tack down. And then when I stitch around there too, it'll grab a little bit of that and help make it hang on to there. Okay, there is a doily. And I will go stitch these and come back. I'm actually going to back this one before I stitch it, but you guys don't have to watch me do that. I'm just going to back it with a piece of coffee dyed paper. And I shall be right back. Okay, I'm back. Fabric is all stitched around, and you can see I've stitched up now, and you can see it better on the back as far as what I did. And this one, all stitched around. And then for doily, our doily. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you make some fun things, and I will chat with you again soon. Love ya. Bye.